is Rachel Tessman from Stamp Your Art Out. Today's video tutorial features Stampin' Up's My Paper Pumpkin Welcome Kit. If you're a subscriber to My Paper Pumpkin, this is the first in a series of kits that you'll be receiving each month. I received my box about 3 days ago and was very excited to look inside of it and see what was in there. Inside I found all the supplies I needed to make 4 of these great cards. Let me show them to you. 4 of those. These are the directions. I also had ink and some stamps. Here's the labels for them. I also had embellishments and of course the cardstock for making the cards. As a bonus gift in this particular kit, you get Block D. Block D is something that you'll be using in future Paper Pumpkin kits, so open that up, use it well, hang on to it. Kit after kit, you'll need that. I purposefully left off my labels. I've found that it's harder for them to cling to the acrylic block when I let my customers use them time and time again. Fingerprints and all that sort of thing, just harder to wash off when I have many people using my stamps. So you're going to see that my stamps do not have the labels adhered to them. So when I'm going to be using them, you won't see the image on the other side. But because I'm mounting my stamp exactly how I want it, I know that when I flip it over, it's going to stamp in that spot. Another thing that you might want to take note of is I trimmed this particular image in a little bit because the first card that I made, as you can see again, I have a little bit of a halo right in that spot. And once it's stamped, it's stamped. But then, you know, that shows that it's handmade and it's made with love. All right. As a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you've probably opened up your box and you may have even started making your cards. But let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through making the first card in the kit. So the first thing that we need is to stamp our words down. I'm going to, for the ease of stamping, use my larger basic gray stamp pad rather than the one that the card kit comes with, but that's because I already own it. Tap lightly. These particular stamp pads, the ones that are larger, are firm foam pads, and if you push too hard you can just make that ink go all over your stamp. So we're going to rotate it in the correct direction for the kit and stamp in the lower left hand corner. Press firmly, do not rock. And there we have Hey There Friend. Next, we'll just set that out of the way. Next we're going to put on the embellishments. This one goes up here, and they're already self-adhesive die cuts. Another word for that people would call it would be cardstock stickers. And this one goes across this way. I'm so sorry about the shadows. This is the best lighting I have right now. And then the next one is this particular adhesive die cut. And then it helps to have your own adhesive with these kits. I would say invest in some glue dots, invest in snail adhesive, or Tombow creates this. It's a tape runner type of adhesive, and scissors. I have paper scissors, my snips, and then I also have another scissors that I only use for cutting ribbons. My third scissors, I guess I have 3. This one here I tie a rubber band around. That one I cut adhesive with and rubber and things that can get sticky. Okay, so let's take the glue dot. We have a button here somewhere. All right, then we take the button and grab a glue dot with the actual button. Stick that down in the corner. One more stamp. We'll peel this one off. Stick this one on. Just hold it 5 to 10 seconds or less. And then we'll just mark this up in the corner like that. Oh, this one turned out much better because I don't have the halo. And then we'll adhere it to the front of the card. Just like that. Super easy. Your kit comes with all the things you need to make 4 of these wonderful cards. It even comes with the envelopes so that you can mail them. Okay, now I bet you could get really creative and take these particular elements and move them around. You know, maybe stick your flags coming down the side, or horizontally you could bring it this way and make your words go this way. So you can be creative with these pieces and come up with different layouts. I decided to have a little fun with the kit and add some embellishments to alter the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. This time I'm rotating my layer so that the darker gradiated little image here is shown at the bottom. Next, I'm going to attach this green piece going this way. And then I brought out some ribbon from our spring catalog. And this is our striped organdy ribbon. And I'm just going to run some adhesive right along the edges of this and attach that. Actually, I'm going to put it a little bit closer. Attach it right there. Trim it off with my ribbon scissors. Wrap this end around. And then I'm going to pop this guy up with a dimensional. These are great adhesives as well. Oh, and before you add the dimensional, might I suggest that you invest in one of these, especially if we're going to have a lot of self-adhesive die cuts. It's called the Embossing Buddy. And when you pounce on top of the back of your adhesive die cut, it takes the stickiness away. Now we can add a dimensional, and when we put this down onto our project, it is not going to stick on the edges. It's going to stay popped up. Okay, getting our glue dots out again, and our button. This time I found my button right away. I'm going to put this right in the middle. And then I've got these large rhinestones that are so pretty. They are also in our spring catalog. You always slip your snips underneath to grab the glue dot that's attached to it. You don't want to lose that. Just pop that down right in the middle. Oh, this is definitely a frilly card. Love it, love it. Okay, now we've got our yellow self-adhesive die cut, and I'm just going to add that up a little higher. On the upper right hand side, turn it over, snip. Now I've got two yellow embellishments, and I just snipped it again, and I'm going to set this one over just a tad further so there's a gap between them, and we need more of this ribbon in here. So I'm going to take and run some adhesive along the back once again. And one thing I forgot to do, so I'll fold it this way so that my adhesive does not stick together there, is I forgot to add a little serpent's tail, or what's that called? A snake tongue design on the end. There we go. Wrap that around. Do the same thing with this side. Isn't that fun? So easy. And then we'll put that one here. And of course we have the stamping left. Can't forget the stamping. Let's quickly grab that word stamp again. Hey there, friend. Mount that. Tap, tap, tap. And we're going to stamp that lightly on the bottom to the left. Oh, it's so pretty! We really spruced up that card, didn't we? And then we just add that to the front of the card again. Adhesive, 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 adhesive. Look how quick and easy that was, and we just added a few extra things that you can certainly invest in if you'd like to. And it's easy to do so. You can just go to stampyourartout.com, click Shop Now, which will take you to my store, and then you can add these fun embellishments and tools. Okay, now this one was fun to create, but here's one that I created that did a little bit, went a little bit beyond what I was first imagining when I got the kit. Set that over there for now. Got to clean that puppy off. Okay, so what I did is I cranked the cardstock through the Big Shot with an embossing folder. And because this cardstock is white on one side and basic gray on the other side, you know that there's a white core to it. So we fold it, slip it in the embossing folder, and you'll see that there's a slight edge there that doesn't get embossed, but it's not that big of a deal. There are some demonstrators out there that are showing you that you can trim off this small little section here and it will fit this way in the embossing folder or the Big Shot, so that way you can shift it the right way in and you can run it and it'll emboss right to the edge. I have not taken and trimmed my folders yet, so mine do not fit that way in there, so instead I have to slide them in this way. Once you've done that, then you can take the sanding block and you can sand, sand, sand lightly over the surface, and it will really whiten up the core of the cardstock. It'll make it really show through. Okay, these two items are in our spring catalog, the honeycomb folder and the sanding block. Another thing that I added to that card was some of this baker's twine in white, and I just grabbed a strand of it, brought it through the button, tied a little bow. Now you'll notice that this is the layer piece on our original card, well, one of our original cards, and I took and cut it in half so I could do it for two separate cards. So that piece came out to be about this size, and then I just trimmed the bottom into, again, the snake tongue or serpent's tail little look there. I call it serpent's tail. I don't know if that's the serpent's tail or not. And then I got some slightly wider tempting turquoise cardstock out of my stash because it matched the button and I wanted the button to really stand out. And I layered that onto here. I made sure that before I layered it on, I curled up the ends of the banner by going like this with a bone folder. Okay? Stamp your message, put your extra little flag embellishment there. You can even curl up the ends of that if you wish. Stick your button on. And on the inside, because this flag is shorter, I had some leftover flag that I could put on the inside of the card. So now you have a few different versions of that card. And again, I'm so sorry about the shadow coming in here. The sunlight is the best light I have right now. Two more projects. This one here is quick and easy to make, and I did not use anything extra beyond the kit. I took one of our cards, which already had, if you can see here, it already had the score line going through the middle, and I cut it down to 3.5 inches wide rather than 5.5 inches wide. And then I marked the middle. So I took my grid paper and a pencil and I went from the 0 mark. Between 0 and 3.5, half of that is 1 3/4. So I took this little mark here, marked it on my card, on the top and the bottom, and these were the 2 points where I would lead my scoring blade to. So I start my scoring blade here, and I go up to there. Now you can do this in one of two different ways. You can either take a ruler and a bone folder, and you can connect the dots. So you can start here, and you can lead to there, and you can make your crease. You can do it there all the way around, or you can take our wonderful new trimmer, or one that you have as well, and they oftentimes will come with the scoring blade. Now on the Stampin' Up! New trimmer, the scoring blade is the lighter color blade, And the way that I did that was I just placed my cardstock right in here, like that, and I went like this on all 4 connections. After you've done that, then you can stamp your message on the front. You can stamp that fun embellishment, little dots and splatter of color all over. And then you can fold in these sides, maybe add a little embellishment there. And then all you need to do is take, oh, and I did that on the wrong side. That's okay. I meant to do it the other direction. I'll show you what I mean. I meant to do it here so that, and I can fix that because I have an adhesive eraser, so I will fix that later. So I meant to do it this way, that way you don't see the place where it's gapping open. That's on the back. And you can put little candies inside there, maybe an Easter gift for somebody, and give it away. One more thought that I had was this kit comes with so many fun extra things that if you're super creative, you can come up with a ton of things to do with them. It comes with chipboard, and it's actually, the chipboard is actually this big, so I took and cut both of them in half, and I could see you coming in, making a hole, putting rings in there, and then creating a little booklet or an album. Another thing that you have in your kit are those little tiny cellophane bags, which I can, oh, here it is. You know, you could put jewelry in them, or you could put mementos in them, things that maybe aren't scrapbook safe. You could stick those inside of here, and then in your book, you could attach them. Baby's first lock of hair, you know, that sort of thing. I did make an album, but I didn't use the chipboard that comes with it. This is the album I made, and I made it out of the envelopes, because you get a bunch of envelopes. So I took 3 of those envelopes, and I stuck them together. And I made a little mini scrapbook, which I didn't embellish as much as I could have because I ran out of supplies. But if this is what you'd like to make with your kit, you could definitely use all your supplies to create this. And inside these areas are little pockets where you could stick even more mementos or photos. This is the original album that I got the idea from, which we made at an event here in Minnesota years ago. And I'm not sure, I think it was Terry Gaines who created this. I hope I'm giving the right person credit. But the same sort of idea, where you put little things into the sides there, and that's where you hold even more mementos. So a fun album idea. And that's what I have for your Paper Pumpkin kit for this month. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.